All right, everybody, so welcome back. Last session, you all had your first real encounter with one another, um, finding yourselves around a campsite that you all were sharing. It seemed that you all were familiar with this place that you were in, with everyone surrounding you, and seemed safe, briefly, before that safety was shattered by several undead creatures that came lurching out of the woods, accentuated by a individual watching the proceedings who, once confronted and once one of you attempted to escape the situation, swooped down and essentially showed you all that there was no escaping the trap that he had laid for you. It did eventually become clear that this was only a shared dream that you all had, hopefully not a vision of things to come. But as you all roused and went about your day-to-day businesses, you all found strange, cryptic notes addressed to you as you woke. Following these notes and the instructions therein led you all towards a crossroads, where you saw that same hooded figure seeming to be longingly staring at a house up on a hill. You all approached, introduced yourselves to one another, and seeing a light flickering inside of that house, decided to investigate. As you approached, you were met by a young woman by the name of Esdiavenir. She mentioned that her and her friend Petra Rilenovich were both expecting you. As odd as that was, it was soon discovered that Petra had a knack for divination, the sight, if you will. And they mentioned that they're not sure why yet, but they knew that you all were meant to meet and to work together. So, offering you 20 gold apiece to assist, she asked you all to help her in her exploration of this house that they had discovered. Not really seeing much else to do at this point, you all agreed and began exploring this house. Several spirits seemed to inhabit the place, and the two investigators wanted to figure out why and what they might be able to do to help. So y'all began the exploration of this house while Petra remained in the parlor and began working on setting up a seance so that the spirits of this house could be directly contacted. Several haunts plagued you all as you made your way through. One of the more dangerous of which was a seemingly over-elongated arm bending at odd angles as if it had too many elbows, reached out from a fireplace and dragged one of you into it. Later on down the line, investigation of that same fireplace showed you all that whatever was inhabiting the chimney system, the flue system, wherever this being may be, also had the ability to spontaneously ignite those fireplaces, singeing one of you rather thoroughly. You all then continued your investigation of the house and came across your first true interaction with one of the spirits in the house, a seemingly homely, middle-aged woman tending to her flowers. You saw this between blinks in this decrepit, broken down conservatory. Most of the plants dead all around, but between blinks, you saw a vibrant scene with a woman tending to her flowers. She seemed angered at first that you all had intruded into her space, but after assuring her that you meant no harm and convincing her that you may in fact be there to help, she called off her attack. Several gardening implements floating in the air, seemingly posed to fling at you all, doing their best to damage you. She called these down. They rested back into place, and her spirit vanished from sight. That is where we're going to go ahead and pick up today. After encountering the spirit in the conservatory, you're all still bunched up around the entrance to that area. So, to the map.
Walls are broken.
Walls are broken. Thank you.
saw nothing.
Well, luckily there's not a whole lot of stuff that's not there's not a whole lot of stuff that's not on the GM layer. That's weird.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah. It's not like there's like a shambling mound hiding in the next room or something just waiting for someone to open a door.
Hey guys, is that a shambling mound?
That's a very specific creature to add to the next room there.
I got shambling mounds on the mind. What can I say?
Actually, a shambling cupcake.
No. I wonder what a shambling cupcake would look like, though.
I'm not talking down a shambling cupcake. You guys are on your own.
Oh, come on.
All right.
It's a one and done deal.
I had enough of this group. I'm not dealing with this cupcake.
Okay. Looks like we're good now. I'm gonna bring you back. Hopefully it's fixed.
Monster Cupcake is just being all menacing, and we just give up in disgust. She's like, "Wait, come back."
Okay, everybody good?
Oh, walls are fixed, yes.
Awesome. Everybody can see. Vase, I'm going to move your token in just a moment here. Everything that we talked about before still stands. I'm going to move your token in just a moment here. Okay. So, as Diavenir still showing you all around the house, after that haunting scene in the conservatory, what would y'all like to do?
Perhaps we shouldn't be in a mostly glass room during the storm.
Yes, thank you for reminding me about the storm. There is, in fact, a massive thunderstorm building just outside the building in the area surrounding the house, seeming to close farther and farther in the more time you spend here.
Are you all, is everything okay in there?
It seems to be now.
What happened? Was there, like a ghost, or what happened?
Remember all those implements? We might have. I don't want to say pissed off. She seemed more scared than anything. And I guess she listened when I said we weren't trying to hurt her, but she looked sad.
Oh. Huh. Well, hopefully that isn't, too much. But, huh.
I remember her from the statue room. She used to be the mistress, I believe.
Ez would nod and say that does make sense that her spirit would be trapped here if this was her home.
Doesn't seem like she's hostile to be hostile, though. I think we just annoyed her when we tried to get in her way. Flowers. Maybe she's scared.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Certainly. Most spirits are scared in the same way that wolves attack people out of fear.
And to be fair, we are kind of trespassing.
I mean, are we really trespassing if, nobody's here?
Well, clearly somebody is.
Hayes, as you say that, Ez says the exact same thing.
We should keep looking.
Yes. Is that a door next to you, Aurelia?
I don't know. Hold
There
on,
is, right there, indeed.
Okay, wait, hold on. Who wants to open this door? I don't trust myself with opening these doors.
Open the door? What kind of...
I don't know. There could be just, there could be a big explosion on the other side. I don't know. Like, what do you, like... I don't want, like, fire in my face. I want to keep my hair, you know? Been growing
I don't
this
know.
out for like, a few years.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I don't want to be bolted though.
Veronis, you
I'm
said
good.
you opened the door.
Yeah, I would say, well, in my experience, spirits don't leave many traps, but here we go.
All right. So, Veronis, what you see is what looks like a ballroom. Broken boards mar the web-like design worked into the ballroom's floor. A short stage for long-departed musicians standing at the far end of the room. It's overlooked by several cracked stained glass windows.
All right, stay close behind me, and I will have my crossbow out, just in case.
Okay.
Just kind of pointing. Are there like webs all over the place?
That is the pattern worked into the floor.
Oh,
Indeed.
seems a little tasteless to me.
I would be very careful with what you say in this house.
You're not wrong. By the way, are we ever gonna see the others? The other two shadows. My paladin friend has mentioned here, or
Aurelia, as you say that and begin making your way into the area, you do see another door, a set of double doors across the way. As you all make your way in, the handles begin to twist back and forth. You see them kind of being shaken just a little bit as if somebody was on the other side of them.
Get ready.
well, I guess someone's on their way.
You see Ez kind of draw a crossbow hesitantly. And as you all watch, the door does in fact swing open, and standing on the other side of it is Petra with somebody that looks vaguely familiar to you all. As you see this individual, the imagery from your dream, from your vision, begins to become more clear. And this individual was in fact one of the people that was sitting at the campsite with you that night. Bolivar, why don't you go ahead and describe your character for us?
So you guys see what appears to be a gnome, a deep gnome. He's got dark gray skin, white hair, and a beard, but he seems to have been injured in the past. It looks like he's been through quite a bit. He's missing a hand. He's got a hook for a hand. He's missing an eye and is using kind of a eye patch type of thing. And he's got a skeletal leg that's barely working. So an entire side of his seems to have been damaged somehow. But he looks very analytical and kind of curiously looks at you. On his hook sits a bat, a little bat.
Petra says, "Hi everyone. I didn't mean to startle you all. Terribly, terribly sorry. But look who I found wandering around outside." She kind of.
Nine hells, Petra! I almost shot you in the heart.
I'm certainly glad that you did not do that. Ez rolls her eyes as she was also about to shoot Petra.
I've seen you in my dreams. All of you. Yes. Seluna. A worshipper of Seluna.
Yes?
Interesting. Where I come from, there's only two types. The swords of the lady and the lunatics. Which type are you, friend?
I suppose, sword of the lady? Ours was a small temple. We mostly tried to bring peace to others. I'm Yoruha, by the way.
Bolivar. And this here, this is Titere.
Aww.
As I point to the bat.
What's the bat doing?
It's still sitting on my hook,
Okay.
just kind of staring.
So cute.
This is us.
You keep a pet as a pet.
It is a gift from the shadows.
I'm gonna be honest, I should not be, I've seen some weird things, I'm not gonna question that.
At that point, Petra speaks up. Oh, and you're going to see some far, far weirder things. Well, I'll be going now. I'll be in the parlor if you all need anything. The seance should be ready within the hour. Ez nods and says, try not to get yourself shot, please. I would terribly, terribly hate to piss off you-know-who. Petra nods and says, yep, sorry. Going back.
Try knocking.
Try knocking.
She shouts, probably a little bit louder than she should, okay!
Or don't, because it might startle us and we might shoot the door.
I mean, you guys did shoot a cupcake.
What do
That
you mean,
wasn't-
you guys?
That wasn't me, that was the hunter of our, group.
That was a single individual, so I am deeply appalled.
Do I
don't
need to
think
remind
you-
you that there was a finger in said cupcake?
And need I remind you, Hayes, that you stuck your head in a fireplace and got, the back of your head almost blown out?
Mind you, it was a, dead fireplace. There was no fire in it. There was not a single coal, not a single ember. There was nothing in there. I apologize. This is the same as sticking your hand in a book and finding a bear trap.
Yes, he is, true. Actually, he is very right.
You know, we are rather our assembly. Esmeralda, why did you bring us together again?
She says, oh,
Indeed.
I didn't bring you together.
You made the dream, didn't you?
She says, oh, no. I'm just supposed to be protecting Petra. She's the one who saw you all together. I wouldn't say that she brought you all together. She simply saw that you would be.
Seance. Am I to understand we will be invoking the dead?
She says, yes. Well, Petra and I are investigators. Technically, I'm her bodyguard, and she's an investigator, so we are investigators. And, this was our most recent discovery. A house within the mists, traveling from place to place, never know where it's going to be, full of spirits, definitely piqued our interest. We don't mean to invoke anything terrible. In fact, we've gone through great lengths to make sure that the parlor is thoroughly protected from any said spirits for when we conduct the seance. However, contacting them and figuring out why they're here, what they want, could really help us out in figuring out how we can release them from this place.
I must warn, working with strange magics can lead to unfortunate results.
I mean, is that why you don't have a hand, if I can call that what is that, a hook? Did you made or something?
Yes. Sometimes when something itches, it becomes a problem.
That has to
No.
be the best and most cryptic reason for not having half of your body I have ever heard.
I see, so he's a part of the lunatic camp. Shall we move on?
I
You
suppose
mentioned
you have to be
the myth.
crazy to find yourself here.
In that case, we're all kind of crazy then, you know what I'm saying?
I will have you know that I'm perfectly sane.
Yes.
Minus apparently it being crazy to stick my head in a dampened fireplace. But what do I know?
And shoot a cupcake.
I didn't shoot a cupcake. I don't even have a crossbow. I have darts, but I can't throw them very well.
Hayes,
What?
come on. Come in the
No.
room. It's okay.
I don't want to.
I don't want to.
I mean, your Rua is right. Like, you can come into the room. It's safe. You'll be fine. We're just not talking.
Esmeralda, you mentioned the miss.
She nods and says, "Yes. Are you familiar with the plane of Ravenloft? It's many domains.
Plains. No.
I call
Are
it
we not in
plane
the Misty
loosely."
Forest?
She says, "Oh, no. I'm very much afraid that you are far from wherever it was that you started your day today, Mr. Boulevard."
Yes, there are. She is right. There are many planes. I don't know too much about each of the planes, but yes, they're multiple.
I am fairly knowledgeable about the plains, but I haven't heard of Ravenloft.
Makes sense. It's not really a plane. You wouldn't see it or hear about it when you were studying, say, Mount Celestia or Avernus. It's more of a collection of smaller planes. This house, where we stand, Petra and I believe to be its own domain, its own small plane within a plane, if you will.
Normally, a plane exists because a powerful being wills it to exist.
She nods and says, "My mentor was very, let's just say, short when it came to talking about who created this place. As far as I'm able to gather, each plane has its own lord, its own ruler that controls aspects of it." As she's speaking, Hayes, as soon as you enter into the room, both doors slam shut behind you.
Ah, yes, I should have stayed outside.
Ez
Unless I
stops
just haven't timed that perfectly.
and looks around. She's like, "Oh, well, that's something. Is it locked, Bolivar?"
I checked the door.
It is in fact locked.
It seems it is.
She says, "Well, that is mildly concerning." And as she says that, the temperature in the room begins to drop a bit.
I'm sure I don't need to do this, but I'm gonna use my divine sense.
Okay?
Isn't this entire house undead?
Kind of.
Because it was kind of bleeding.
Yeah. So, yes. Yes, you do in fact sense the presence of undead nearby. And as that sense begins to take hold, you all begin to hear a hollow, mocking voice. It's echoing in as if it's from far away. It says, "I'll give you a simple choice, my misguided knights. You can join Lady Silvra, and I'll entomb you all within my fortress's walls. Or forsake your commander and bear witness to her execution, and then walk free to tell all of Danzorg's justice. My mercy knows but a moment, friends. Choose." As this spectral voice, seeming to echo from a long way away, almost as if it was at the end of an extremely long corridor or hallway, much like the screaming voice of the woman in the tower you all encountered earlier, seeming to come from a great distance. You all hear the faint murmurings of what sounds like about half a dozen other voices, also coming from a very far distance away. Then, after you hear that, much louder, much more commanding, seemingly in the room with you all, you hear a voice say, "Choose."
Reveal yourself, coward.
You know, I'm gonna be real. I don't want to kind of fuck with this. I ain't gonna lie.
You know,
How does everyone else respond?
With? I'm just gonna start fucking kicking on that fucking door. The door's just locked, it'll give in eventually.
Esmeralda, do you know who speaks to us now?
She shakes her head, and she looks over and she says, I don't know. And it booms through again. Choose! Hayes, the other side of the door, seemingly something massive on the other side of it, just slams against it.
Perhaps we should make a choice to appease it.
I mean, it wants us to watch an execution. Like, I don't know where it's gonna be. But I don't want to die. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. It said it would entomb us, or we watch the execution. I vote for the execution.
Ez says, I'm going to try something a little different. And she turns, she says, I stand with my commander. There's no response for a moment. So, Hayes, you began kicking on the door. Bolivar, you demanded the voice show themselves. So, I'm just going to go ahead and log your choices. Bolivar demanded the voice show itself. So we'll mark that with blue. Hayes, you began kicking on the door. That is also going to get you a blue mark. And Ez choosing what she did. I'll reveal that in a moment. What do the other three of you do?
What was this commander supposed to be?
So I'll repeat the phrase. It says, you can join Lady Silvera, and I'll entomb you all within my fortress's walls. Or forsake your commander and bear witness to her execution, then walk free and tell all of Danzorg's justice.
I'll walk up onto the stage.
Okay.
Oh, I took our lantern. Just kind of step and go. Forget the commander. Try executing me instead.
Okay.
I am just gonna simply, I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Hayes. To help him, do whatever he needs to do.
Why me? I'm an idiot.
I'm gonna be like, you have fun. Try to knocking down the door, whatever you need to do. I just don't want to die. And so I'm gonna give, Hayes Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. And what is your choice?
I am just simply gonna stand still and maybe just watch the execution wherever it happens.
So I will call that reaction silence. Iruha?
Sean, can I use an action and roll my eyes to the back of my head and look through Títeres, or sense through Títeres' senses?
You may.
And use his echolocation. See if there's anyone else in the room with us.
Títere senses the presence of 8 other individuals in here.
My divine sense would have known the location of any undead who's 6
Fantastic.
feet of me.
There are... It's a very, very faint signature, Iruha. Almost non-existent, but if you focus on it long enough, you can see vague outlines of these figures standing around the stage. The location doesn't appear to match up with what you're seeing here. They're standing at weird angles, standing around and near objects that are not there. There is one man much larger than everyone else. Almost has everybody by half a foot. 2 individuals stand to either side of him, and there are 4 people kneeling and 1 kneeling in front of them all, bound.
Okay.
Yoruha is going to kind of blink and says, this is an echo of the past, I think. Distorted, but I don't think it's going to hurt us.
Perhaps.
Except when it chooses to.
It seems to be speaking to us directly, though.
It could be a vision of the past, but,
It bellows, chews again. This time, Yoruha, you do see the figures kneeling shrink back from it. Except for one. The one that kneels in front of them all, that is clearly bound, stands defiant, her back straight.
Yoruha's going to straighten her back and say, I stand with my commander, too.
Okay. So, as the last of you make your decision, as the last of you is chosen, you hear a bellowing laughter echo through the halls, and you see three of the kneeling knights stand up and step towards the kneeling woman and kneel beside her. One stays back though, and at that moment you all hear an ear-splitting shriek. It fills the room, almost deafening all of you, painful to the ears at an extremely high frequency. The shriek fills the room, and you all hear cracks as the stained glass windows that look over this area all crack and form new shapes. As you focus on them now, it seems to reflect several figures being walled up behind a fortress's walls, seemingly entombed inside of them. They vaguely resemble all of you. Aurelia, as this shriek pierces through the air, you hear the word traitor thunder through your ears. I need you to make a wisdom save.
Great. It's not great.
Oh,
That is, in fact,
God.
not great. Aurelia, you take 8 psychic damage.
Oh, God.
The room quiets. The images on the stained glass do not change. They still seem to reflect something entirely different than when you first entered the room. They reflect what looks to be all of you being walled up behind a stone wall, with the exception of Aurelia, being walled up behind a stone wall, your faces twisted in screams as you are entombed. Hayes, the door that you were trying to break down gently swings open. You are standing on the other side of it, staring at yourself. A perfect copy of you stands on the other side of the door.
Hmm. May I try touching me?
It's mouthing the words that you're mouthing just like a split second behind you. You reach your hand out. It reaches its hand out. And as soon as your hand gets like barely close to touching, it vanishes.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. Hey, can we leave this, fucking house, please? This is... I don't like any of this. Anyone else see their doppelgangers?
No.
What? What just happened?
There were
I saw
creatures
me in the
here with
hallway.
us.
I'm just like, at this
Creatures.
point, I'm on the ground. I'm just like, I don't even know what happened. I heard the scream and I just fell on the floor. I'm not gonna lie.
You appear to be bleeding.
The shadow is
bleeding?
back.
I like touched my face. I'm like, oh shit, I may have bumped my head. Goddamn.
Bleeding from your eyes and ears a little bit.
Ez, do you have any information on what's happening?
She says, well, the hauntings here seems to be a slight tad little bit more malicious than I had originally anticipated. This doesn't make any sense, though. This place... the last family that lived here, they were a happy family. She
It
then
wasn't a family, though. That was. It seemed like some sort of army, maybe? Or some sort of soldiers, maybe?
Hmm, perhaps a militia.
Possibly the kind that had a destroyed guard tower, who somebody built a house connected to.
There was a man in the shadows, taller than the rest, and then the kneeling figures. It was spooky.
she nods as nods. Says, there is certainly more to this place than Petra and I had originally anticipated.
Yorua, do you still see them?
Do I still see them?
They would have vanished into mist with the shriek.
She takes a moment, then shakes her head. No, they're gone.
We should press on.
Agreed.
As nods. Says, well, hopefully once Petra is ready, we'll be able to get some answers.
Perhaps we should maybe help our debilitated friend here.
I'll be fine. It's okay.
Are you
Uh-uh.
sure?
I mean, I'm not dead, so I'll take what I get.
You look like you just stuck your head in the fireplace.
I don't know. I think the scream affected me somehow. But I think I'll be fine.
Does everyone here speak in understatements? First Esmeralda, and then you.
I mean, when you've been in the mist long enough, you'll understand that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know what I mean?
Yes, but what nearly kills you doesn't exactly do the same.
It's okay. I'll be fine.
But to say the scream may have affected you is certainly a little bit of an understatement. So maybe we should rest a little bit, and maybe we should stop running around this house, eliciting the ire of spirits, at least for maybe the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hopefully.
I should probably be ready soon. I can rest once we do the seance.
I'm pretty sure if we hear another scream like that and affects you in the same way, I'm pretty sure your head will explode.
Well, Petra came from the other door anyway. I think it leads back to the room anyway.
So you all
Petra and Ez are spirits the whole time.
You all see Ez emerge from a room. Some of you may have noticed she kind of just wandered off and opened a door, walked in, and then she's coming back out and she's got what looks like a huge tarp. And says, what do you think? And she opens it and it falls to the ground. It's a large, it's basically a large banner. It's got numerous winged seahorses on it and the words "Happy Birthday, Regan and Vestion."
Apparently someone was planning a party.
She kind of looks over at it, says, "Oh, weird. Nothing else in the closet."
Do I recall those names from did the statue room have names?
I believe they did not, but the two of the busts did in fact depict what looked like young children.
Are these extremely similar looking children?
They are. A boy and a girl, but they did share some very similar features and seem to be of the same age.
The mistress and two children. Twins, apparently.
Sorry, I just saw a door, wanted to see what was behind it. You all seemed a bit distracted, so.
Well, you may have noticed that our compatriot's bleeding from her head.
She looks over. You okay?
Yeah, don't, trust me, I'm okay.
Yeah, see, she's fine.
Right.
I say again, I reiterate the point. How do we know that Ez and Petrova are not spirits themselves who are just hell-bent on messing with us in this house until we all eventually die?
Well, there is the fact that Yoruha is not getting any stronger senses from either of them whenever she uses her ability to detect undead.
Well, I don't know. This whole house stank.
The entire house does
Yoruha's-
indeed exude necromantic magic, or something similar.
Yoruha's gonna go over and gently, playfully kind of poke Ez in the cheek and say, "See, not a spirit."
She kind of like scrunches her brow and like, what? Yeah, of course I'm not a spirit. I haven't died.
She glances at Hayes. See? Problem solved.
Alternatively, I died in the fireplace, and this is just a fever dream.
That seems
If you
far more
want-
likely.
If
The
you
spirit-
want, when we see Petra, I'll poke her cheek too.
It's all right. Hey, spirits are usually not conversational. Demons, no, they love to talk.
Or devils.
You
Ez.
lot sure are paranoid, aren't you?
With
I
good
mean-
reason.
I mean,
Well-
I'm not as paranoid. I don't deal with what they deal with. I just like talking to spirits sometimes. Like, yes, I don't know.
As before more distrust spreads between us all, what is your end goal here today?
She says, well, my end goal is, as it always is, make sure Petra is safe. And as far as our goals for the short term, we simply want to figure out what happened here, and if there's anything we can do to help.
Well, unless you found embroidered party hats, perhaps we should retreat to the safe room.
She says, well, actually, she does pull out an old moldy embroidered party hat.
Oh, I'm
Well
starting to wonder if maybe the last family that lived here wasn't the only family that, well, the only people that died here. It seems like maybe there's multiple spirits with multiple different times.
Well, there are at least 2 ruins from 2 different time periods here.
This choice we
that?
had to make for our captain, could it have been a children's game? Anyone familiar with such a game?
I'm
Would
not so
I
sure
be?
about that.
I would say that Yoruha, after seeing what she saw, even the faint images, none of those people were children.
Very big children, maybe.
She shakes her head and kind of takes a moment. No, what I saw was there was a large man, and it seemed like soldiers, people captive. And when we said that we stood with our commander, a couple knights, they looked like knights. They had swords and armor, from what I could see, and they stood up and went towards the woman, and that's when we heard the shriek. I assume that was her death cry. No kids, though.
Some form of betrayal occurred.
If the mistress spirit was inhabiting the garden house, then the children's spirits would likely be somewhere that was more significant to them. Perhaps their bedrooms or a playroom.
I hope they moved on, but it's unlikely.
Then find them we must.
At any rate, I am beginning to agree with Hayes. We could use a break.
Ez nods and says, we can certainly return to the parlor and rest if you'd like to. It is safe there.
Hey, Ez, have you seen anything like the others described? Whether it was a long, elongated arm with too many elbows, or any of these spirits before, or have they just shown up when we shown up?
Ez says that she and Petra arrived only minutes before all of you did. They were just getting set up. They'd been here maybe 10 minutes. All they had been into was the Periton entry, the entry with that large bird in the parlor when you all arrived. So, no, she hasn't seen anything.
Did Hayes go the other way?
He did. And you all hear, coming from the parlor, Petra's voice. Oh, hi. Where's everyone else?
They're going the other direction.
Ah.
I didn't want to take the extra trip.
That's not very safe.
He stuck his head-
Apparently, nothing is safe in this house. Apparently, just standing there and doing nothing is more than likely going to get your head popped. So I, frankly, am more inclined to take the easier way out.
Sticking your head in fireplaces makes that a little less likely to happen, though.
You really will not let that go.
I
mean-
healed you from that, so I get to tease you about that for the rest of the night.
Listen, next time something that isn't supposed to explode explodes in your hand, I will make sure you never live it down. At least for the next 5 minutes.
I mean, it is not our fault that you stuck your head in a fireplace. That clearly wasn't burning until you stuck your head in it.
You all must hate chimney sweeps.
I'll open this door to the west.
Which door? Oh, sorry, that's the parlor door. I thought that was already open. My bad.
All right. Well, are we taking a short rest, or are we gonna open more doors?
This short rest would be great,
I say we
considering,
rest.
if I recall, our bar just took like 8 damage
Yeah.
Well, I was
at
just
level 1.
I have no healing either.
This place may be more interesting than the death house, but it is certainly not any safer, apparently.
Nope.
level 1 characters, man. Stiff breeze.
Yeah. Oh, I go back to
Oh,
4?
hell
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Good job.
And since Yoruha brought me the full health, I don't even need to burn a hit dice.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm actually good.
So you all get a good look at what Petra is working on. She is arranging several items around a spirit board. She looks... She's looking at it, and she says, something's not right. The planchet. And she begins going through her bag and pulls out the guide down there. The planchet, the piece that goes over the spirit board. She says, I'm going to need just a bit more time.
It will. Shall we hunt down another clue or two? Will she?
She says you're all more than likely to wait here if you would like to, but Ez is most certainly going to be doing some more exploring. It's what she's here for.
I hope you know what you're doing, Pietra.
She says, oh, me too. Me too. She looks down at the board, kind of strokes her chin a little bit. So, everybody done with their short rest?
Yes.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Esmeralda. I've been doing this for a little while, and I've always thought that seances were a bit of a hoax.
Oh, well, hopefully we can prove you wrong. We've had a few successful ones already.
I'm sure it is the worst when the spirit speaks a completely different language than anyone you can understand.
That is, in fact, inconvenient when that happens. This one time we were at this swamp, Petra's telling you in Iruha. So one time we were at this swamp and these frog spirits popped up and they were speaking the most bizarre language.
Wrong, I assume.
No, we thought it might have been primordial or what's that? What's those other little ones? The little ones that look like poison dart frogs. Grung. We thought it might be Grung, but it wasn't that. Turned out they had their own entirely unique language, only specific to them.
Right, but my point is, board with letters and numbers on them, that wasn't necessary. You clearly encountered the spirits.
So yes, we've gotten spirits to come to us many times.
Maybe the board helps when they're feeling shy.
She nods.
Oh well, who am I to deny anyone a bit of theatrics? Shall we? Are you coming, Hayes?
Yes, yes.
There are doors to the east and south of you all.
Bolivar, was it? Why don't you pick?
South.
Appears to be a sitting room, much like the one you all encountered before. No bookshelves or library material in this room.
I have a crossbow pointed at this fireplace as I go by.
There's a cupcake in it.
Eh,
What?
Wait. What are you doing again?
There is a cupcake in the fireplace.
Look!
Are you really gonna shoot the cupcake? Like, come on.
What are you gonna do with the cupcake?
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone, so don't, I mean, what are you gonna do? Stick your head in there, get your face blown off again?
I was going to wait for Hayes to do that.
Ha 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 ha.
I don't trust it. Look out for too many elbows on an arm.
It's almost like inspecting a suit of armor and then getting stabbed and having everyone around you laugh at you because you got stabbed by a suit of armor instead of being concerned about every suit of fucking armor.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh no, I'm going to be like that.
Okay, don't be so suspicious, Hayes. Jesus.
Right, there is another room attached to the sitting room.
Esmeralda, I'm preoccupied with this fireplace. Could you open the door?
Sure. She approaches, opens the door, and you see her eyes go wide, and she's like, wow. So there's overstuffed furniture in here. They face a absolutely magnificent concert harp. It's dramatically sculpted with flocks of flying doves, angelic wings. It does not share a single bit of the decay and rot that permeates this place. It seems like it was just finished being carved yesterday.
Huh. I'm not proficient with a harp, but can I still do like a performance check to see if it like works and stuff?
Yeah.
7.
Aurelia, as you touch the harp, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Are you
Oh
kidding?
no.
Alright.
Wow, not great
Oh
at
my
those.
god.
Aurelia, you find yourself overwhelmingly compelled to sit at the chair behind the harp and begin playing. You all see Aurelia's hands begin deftly flying across the harp. Just as she said she was not proficient, she is playing it beautifully. It is a haunting ballad being plucked out on these strings. It is absolutely beautiful, but Aurelia, your hands begin to ache. You're looking down, you don't seem to have control over them. They're gliding over the strings so quickly that your hands begin to become blurs. I need you to make a performance check, please.
Oh no. 13.
Aurelia, you feel as if these strings are made of some sort of almost like a piano wire. They're too hard, they're too sharp as your fingers go across them. We need to roll initiative.
What?
Ooh. Are we all rolling initiative?
Yes. You don't have to act, but you do need to be in the count. Aurelia, you can feel your fingers beginning to grow raw as you're plucking across. You try to stop, but find yourself unable to stop. The song completely engrossing you. Uranus. Oh, you're not even in the room yet. I believe that you would hear the sounds of the harp being played from the other room. Aurelia, or what exactly are you doing right now? You can't take any actions yet, but would you be speaking, making any sounds? Would you be showing the pain that's beginning to come through as you're playing this?
Yeah, I wouldn't be saying anything, but clearly in my face that I'm just showing like I'm in pain, so.
Okay. Shouts of alarm begin to come from Ez. You can hear the pain sounds of Aurelia. Varanus, what are you doing?
It's a lovely instrument, but is this really the time, Aurelia?
I can't really control myself, so I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's not good.
Hayes, you can see what's happening.
Let's see. Because this seems like a totally good idea, but it's the only one I can think of. Because worst case scenario, it just takes me along for the ride. Hayes is gonna push past Yoruha, rush forth, and strike the heart.
Okay. Did you make a strength check? As you strike it the first time, trying to just push it over, you find that it's anchored. It is seemingly stuck to the place. You are unable to push it over. Furthermore, Aurelia's hands move with it as you begin to try and move it.
I
Olivar,
was intending on trying to break it.
with an 8, it does not break.
I'm gonna move next to Aurelia and try to get her to stop, like physically grab her hand.
Make a strength check.
All right. Yep.
While she's not resisting you, her hands seem adhered to the strings, each pluck seeming to make them stick harder and harder.
Hmm.
She does not budge.
Something's got a hold of her. That's my turn.
Iruha.
I'll walk in the room, kind of look around and go, if you're upset that she was playing your harp, you can stop now. We won't touch it again. And if that doesn't work, she's gonna rush over and grab her hands like everybody else has been trying to do.
Make a strength check.
But she's gonna try and reason with whatever is doing this first. So, strength check or...
Strength check, Iruha. Iruha, on this attempt, they resist you at first. Aurelia's hand seeming to glide across these strings of their own accord. You can see the red rawness of her hands as you go across. Aurelia, your hands are removed from the harp. The harp stops playing, but as you look down, you have taken 1 point of slashing damage. The music stops, and the harp desiccates over the course of 2 or 3 seconds, taking on the decayed and rotted veneer of the rest of this place.
Well,
So Yoruha basically has you kind of almost in a bear hug. It's a little bit gentler than like crushing, but she kind of holds your arms like to your sides and she goes, "You okay? Can I let go?"
yeah. I thought, I could play that and, be fine, but I guess not.
She gently lets you go.
Every so often, you just get taken over by the spirit of jazz.
I guess that's what it is. Yeah, just,
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little, paper cut, but I should be okay.
Should probably refrain from touching things in general.
Or sticking our head in things, or looking at things, or not talking, or really anything in this house.
As you say that, Ez is like looking underneath a chair, and she hears you say that. She looks over and just drops it and stands.
Well, at any rate, you should at least avoid touching things that are clearly unusual.
I mean, if we're talking about unusual things, then, me touching you would clearly be, unusual for me. You know what I'm saying?
No.
No. So Ez pulls out a notebook. She says, well, if our look around outside can be trusted, I think there's only one place left that we haven't looked. She points at the door right in front of her. Shall we?
Yes. Let's follow on.
Ah, lamp. Where's my moth meme? Ah. Sorry. I can't seem to grab any tokens correctly right now. I lost her lamp. Oh well. Okay.
I don't need to tell anyone not to sit down.
Ez has her head in the fireplace.
Esmeralda,
Comes out. Yeah.
are you sure you're experienced with this sort of thing?
I never really claimed that I was. We've done 2 or 3 of these.
Very well.
I can't believe she's just going to ignore the part where I did this not too long ago and it nearly killed me.
She looks over towards you and sees your lack of eyebrows. She's like, right, fireplaces, no good, no good.
Well, considering it didn't immediately kill you, I suppose this one's pretty alright.
She nods and says, yeah, it might have just been the one over there, right?
A spirit would never pull the same trick twice, right?
I mean,
As you're all watching that, Yoruha, you see a long hand reaching. Yoruha, you see it reaching towards Aurelia's back, and as soon as Hayes says that, it stops. It starts going back into the fireplace.
And she's going to actually rush forward, grab Irelia by like the arms, and kind of pull her behind her.
And why didn't you just grab the crazy long arm? You might have pulled whatever it is out. It might need help.
I'm gonna glance to Hayes and be like, I'm pretty sure you all are my top priority and not some crazy hand that leaves cupcakes and cackles at you for having lack of eyebrows.
Really? Because you've been making fun of me this whole time.
It's called charm.
well, it's called not being an idiot and sticking your head to the fireplace.
To be
Rude.
fair, you
As
touched a
says.
weirdly pristine harp in a completely dilapidated home that hasn't been lived in for how many years now, Ez?
I mean,
I believe a couple hundred, maybe.
Yes, a couple of centuries, and that harp looked the way it did, and you decided to put your hands all over it.
I mean, it's not my fault that at least I have, I am a performer and not some chimney sweeper.
Are you
You
two
know.
really gonna do this when the crazy lady's hand came out of the fireplace just now? I think
I
that
mean-
takes precedence.
Was I dragged into the fireplace? I don't think so, so I should be fine.
Huh?
So, as and I approach whatever's on this chair, I
Yeah.
have my crossbow pointed at it with total malice.
It is a life-size porcelain doll of a little girl.
Okay. I don't need to tell anybody not to touch that, right?
Touch
Oh
what?
no, I'm just gonna throw it across the room.
But wait. I may be able to use it later.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, sir, whatever you do in your off time is not my concern, but
No. I perform with marionettes and dolls.
Well, like a ventriloquist, as says.
Of sorts, yes.
sir, we are in a very, very haunted place. I'm not so sure you should do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I know I play instruments, and I had an excuse to play in harpsichord at least. I don't know if I want to see a bunch of puppets inside of a haunted house, to be honest.
This is besides the fact that it would technically make you a fraud because if the puppet starts acting on its own, you're not very much of a ventriloquist, are you?
Indeed, it is that deep search into the shadow that caused my injuries. I did try to cheat. But nonetheless, perhaps this one will be different.
Pardon my Elvish, but parlay the fuck?
Was that Elvish? I don't think that was Elvish.
That was common for sure.
Okay, I'm not going crazy.
All right, I guess we'll leave it for now.
I am tempted to destroy it. It's... Look, it doesn't feel right.
Veronis, as you say, I am tempted to destroy it. It kind of just like the head falls back just a little bit, and its eyes look towards you.
Hang on.
We not touch things that might be haunted.
I
We're
do
going
this.
to. Huh?
Okay, good. Wow, that was cool. Varanus restricts his urge to twitch fire his crossbow into the face of this doll.
You want to run that by me again?
Nothing. It was breeze, probably.
Listen, I haven't been around many people, but anytime someone has said it must have been the wind, it has never been good.
Yeah, I don't know if describing the wind is, hot as a haunting would necessarily be a good idea.
Definitely not turning my back on it, though.
The question is, what would a doll be doing here in this room? This dining
mean,
room?
Didn't we describe, or somebody said that there were children here, right?
Yes. Perhaps in
Yaruha,
the
the
other room.
head of the doll slowly starts turning towards you. It stops
What
once
if-
its eyes meet yours.
Oh no. What if that doll over there is one of the twins or life-size dolls?
Yaruha, a slamming knock comes at the door. Just doom, doom, doom. At the door next to you.
Oh, Jesus.
It opens and it's Petra. I knocked.
Balloon. And she just collapses to her knees. No more. Please, no more.
I mean, to be
You're
fair,
hot.
at least you knocked.
Yorha, I thought you worshipped Saloon. Who's this name that you just evoked?
Some man that was in the church with me that liked to play pranks.
Petra sticks her
Oh,
head in. She's like, "Hey everyone, the seance is ready to go."
I found Ez's lantern, by the way. It was like folded up underneath mine for some reason.
Oh, nice.
We moved over there next to her.
Do you still think the seance is a good idea?
She says, "Oh yeah."
Spirits seem to want to do us harm.
Petra's, "Oh, you met them? How were they?"
They were angered at us.
Oh. Well, maybe we can figure out why. She starts walking back to the parlor.
It's like a puppy.
I can't believe I'm about to suggest this.
What?
Maybe if our goal is to contact the spirits, we should bring this clearly dangerous and haunted object with us.
Are you batshit crazy?
Yes.
I'm not
Yes,
fucking
yes,
touching
I
it.
am.
The minute you say that, I'm gonna go and grab it.
Oh no.
Is he? Who is? Oh.
Bolivar.
Hayes is gonna get on the other side of the table, and he's gonna get ready to
Across the-
fucking just push the table across the room, shove the doll into the fucking wall, maybe, hopefully. Just in case it decides to do any weird exorcist shit.
As soon as the doll hurts anybody, I have a ready-to-action crossbow pull.
Bolivar, as soon as
Guys.
you pick the doll up, its head kind of lolls over, seemingly accidentally, but its eyes are now looking at yours. And then what sounds like a voice box, like one of those old school, like those really old ones that sound just really, really grainy, looks up. "We're friends now."
You see,
As his eyes are
Great
just
idea.
like wide, she's like, "That wasn't terrifying. Nope, 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 not even scary at all." And she starts making her way out of the room.
whose idea was it to pick it up?
That would be
Yours?
that I would point at Varanus.
Varanus, excellent idea. I'm gonna set it in the center of the table.
I
Oh
would
my
argue
God.
It was both of your ideas. And I want no part of either of it.
Yours
There's more of
is
a-
gonna wait until everybody's out of the room, and she kind of turns to where the doll was and very gently kind of says, "We'll bring it back for you guys to play with later. We just need it for a minute," and then keeps walking.
Well, you gotta say some creepy shit like that.
It
Because
may
clearly,
be haunted or it may be parlor tricks. I can duplicate what it just did. And I'm gonna minor illusion it saying, "We're friends." You see, parlor tricks.
I
pride.
don't know if I like your parlor tricks, sir.
I'm just proving a point. Perhaps it is not as haunted as we thought. Someone else is here with us, messing with us.
Yes, a spirit.
Given what we've encountered, we should probably assume that it will make you bleed from your eyes and ears.
There's a perfectly good explanation for everything that's happened. The harp may have just been trapped. I've heard of a chemical concoction that grips things together very tightly. Universal solvent, is it? Or something of the sort?
Yes, but how does that explain the movement of the hands?
Aurelia, perhaps inspiration overcame you and you were playing subconsciously.
Maybe. Although
The
I
har-
don't. I've only heard of a harpsichord. Where I grew up, we only ever really had like flutes and viols and very inexpensive instruments, you could say.
Yes, but of us who are musically inclined have an affinity towards other instruments and can pick them up pretty easily. Look,
You were
I'm
not
gonna
wrong,
pull
though.
I'm gonna pull out my pan flute and play the Land Down Under from Men at Work.
Make a performance check.
Can I take out my viol and kind of like perform with him?
Make a
Yes,
performance
yes.
Alright.
This got strange.
check.
Yeah. Should I do a performance check too of Land Down Under?
Yes.
21.
So it gets off to a little bit of a jolting start, but as Aurelia comes in, the two of you find your flow together, and it's quite good.
It's more difficult with a missing hand, but my point is proven.
Remind you that the harp disintegrated, like, instantly.
I don't know. Any other strange occurrences?
Plenty. Let's see. There's a tower where if you try and go above 30 feet, it will immediately throw you back down by yelling at you aggressively and causing a gust of air. It is impossible to get any projectile through the barrier of air because it will immediately be thrown back. Beyond that, we found cupcakes with fingers in them. We were almost assaulted by gardening implements from a spirit that could only be seen with your eyes closed. Nearly witnessed, or technically witnessed, an execution and betrayal, in which one of our compatriots here nearly had their head exploded. So I think we're doing pretty good so far in terms of all this illusion and all this stuff not actually happening.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Too many elbows.
Yeah.
Yes, the fireplace that exploded in my face, even though it was completely unlit and there was nothing in there.
Not even any wood in it or anything.
The trophy room was interesting, though.
Okay. So Ez and Petra are kind of just sitting there at the end of the table. Like, they kind of gesture down towards the table. Says, we've been ready for a minute.
Let's get on with it, then.
Please continue.
Okay. So, Ez kind of takes a few steps back while Petra lays her hand on the planchet and she says, if everyone would please gather around, it certainly is more helpful and we have more people involved. places her hands on the planchette and says, like this. Y'all ever
Put
used a
claw
Ouija
on
board
it.
before?
Oh yeah.
Does anybody join her, or is she going alone?
Oh, yeah, I said I
Oh.
put a claw.
Okay, cool.
I'll join.
I'll put my hook on it.
Hayes does not trust it. He is not touching it.
All right. Okay.
You're gonna stay with Hayes just to make sure that, like, it's not that she doesn't trust it, it's more the fact that she doesn't want Hayes to be the only one not touching it.
All right.
In case that pisses something off.
Yes, my head will spin around. I'll start crawling on the ceiling. I finally
Projectile
have an
vomiting.
ability that isn't just punching.
Ez is also standing back, keeping a close eye on everything, so she is also not directly engaging with the seance like that. All right. So, as Petra lays her hands on it, and the rest of you do as well, silence drops over, much calmer silence than you've had in this house so far. The creaking stops, the strange winds blowing through the place all stop. It's as if this one room was isolated somehow from everything else going on outside of it. You see Petra close her eyes, and you hear her say, "Spirits of this house, we are strangers who come openly and without malice. We seek only to know your stories and to help you find peace. We entreat you, make your presence known." Ez just has her arms crossed against the back wall, kind of looking around. Petra still has her eyes closed. Nothing's happening. Petra opens one eye, looks around, opens the other one, says, "That is so strange. This usually..." And just as she's saying that, the temperature drops by a solid 10-15 degrees. It gets very cold in here. She takes a deep breath in. The lights dim, the flames seeming to grow smaller as it gets darker in here. The planchette moves to the word greetings. Petra gasps a little bit. Looks around. Who are we speaking to? The planchette begins to move underneath all of your fingers, seeming to go first to the T, then slowly up to the H, gaining speed as it goes to the E, the O, the D, the O again, the R, the A. Theodora.
That was the woman that was in the garden, right?
Indeed.
I'm asking
And-
out of character.
Right, yes, that is correct.
Theodora. Anyone know of Theodora?
She's.
She.
Go ahead.
She was the mistress of the house.
The planchette slides over to the yes abruptly, almost violently, and then it spells out the words, "My house."
All right. How many spirits are here with you?
The planchette begins to slide. It first begins to go and hover over the numbers, seemingly unsure of which one to go to. It first goes to the 7, and then the 4, and then the 9, and then it goes back to the I, and simply spells out many.
749.
I don't know if that's over 700, but I am gonna go with many instead of you know, too many.
Sorry.
Why do you wish us harm, Theodora?
It slides slowly over to the no.
So you do not mean us any harm.
It slides back to the center.
Who burned Varanus's face? Was it Varanus that got his face burned or Hayes?
Hayes.
Who burned Hayes' face?
It quickly spells out the word chimney witch.
Oh, okay.
So we have chimney witches here. Interesting.
I'm gonna ask Pietra. How long do we have with this seance? How many questions?
She shakes her head, her eyes still closed. As long as she
Okay.
wishes to speak with us.
Where's the chimney witch now?
It goes back to the center, goes up to the top just outside of the circle, and circles the entire board.
She's
Back to the
what's
center.
possessing the house.
The planchet moves to the number 1 and then spells out the word of many.
Many chimney witches?
Where is the chimney witch right now?
It again goes up to the top and then circles the entire board.
Oh. Perhaps there are many witches. One is a chimney witch. Many others.
Perhaps.
It moves from the center again and moves to the word no.
Oh.
It then spells out soldiers, goes back to the center, spells out thieves, goes back to the center, spells out murderers, goes back to the center, spells out the word many once again.
Huh.
What keeps you here?
She very slowly and deliberately spells the word children.
So are the twin children yours?
It slides to the word yes.
Seems like an army of spirits here. I don't know that we can handle that. But perhaps we can lay Theodora and her children to rest. Give them peace.
It slides back to the center.
Not to interject, but maybe you should ask about the tower.
Okay, it's not a bad idea. What is in the tower right now?
It very abruptly goes up and hovers over one of the skulls.
Understandable.
So death.
Do you mean a literal skull?
It would scroll over the word yes, and then go over to the word no. Petra would say the words, "She's retreating. She's leaving us." It then, the planchet slowly, you can feel the force moving it beginning to weaken. It spells out the words, "Seek the witch stone."
would this stone speak of?
Is it in the house?
Petra opens her eyes, lifts her hands off of the planchet. She's gone.
I'm gonna grab her by the collar. Is it in the house?
Petra's like, ah! As he immediately pulls a crossbow and points it at you.
Apologies.
There's no need for that.
Yeah, you might be a little crazy though. Like I don't think we need to strangle people necessarily.
Yes, if we start strangling people, then perhaps the chimney witch gets what they want.
Yeah, apparently there's a chimney witch and I don't know where this witch stone is, but that was the last thing she said.
I can only assume it is probably further up in the attic, or maybe a basement if there is one. I can only imagine.
Anybody here proficient in history?
Nope. That's
maybe?
a no for me, Chief.
Hold on.
Nope.
Give me a sec. Let me get my character sheet open, because I think I might be.
I could try knowledge.
No, I'm not. That was a
I
completely
could try
different
knowledge
character.
from a past life.
Nice, yeah.
Which adds a D something, D6 maybe.
Could I medicine check this?
Adds a D6 to it, yeah. Can I try that roll?
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. A D6.
Nice. Okay. So,
21.
21. Fantastic. So, you know the word witchstone. It's a phrase. It's a mundane architectural superstition. It's said to provide a place for witches to rest during their nightly travels, thus making them less likely to break into your home to seek comfort and shelter. The chimney bearing a witch stone is usually at the top of the house, extended as far from the center of the house as it can be.
As far from the center of the house as it can be. Okay. Petra, do you? I tell the group, of course. Petra, do you have schematics for the house?
She says, schematics, no, but Ezra steps forward and she says, well, I took a sketch from outside. We don't know the interior layout, but she begins pointing around at the sketch that she drew. So it looks like there's a walkway along the roof. And yeah, here, the northeastern corner, there's a chimney all by itself with a little bit of an offshoot on it. I was a bit confused as to what it was for in the first place, but that could be it.
Yes, that must be it.
So we need to get onto the roof.
The question is, like, how do we get there?
Climb?
I mean, I am not a very good climber. I'm just gonna say that straight up. Hopefully there's stairs or something.
I'm an excellent climber so long there isn't fire all over the wall or something.
Yeah.
Ez would let you all know that, judging by the way what she saw outside, there is what's known as a widow's walk on this house. A widow's walk is essentially a long walkway on the roof of the house.
By the way, before we head up, I was hoping we would get in contact with whatever's happening to the doll. But that didn't happen, so... What are we going to do with the doll?
I will bring it with us. We can figure it out later.
Petra looks over and she says, may I see it?
Sure.
I would probably return to where the doll came from. I don't want that thing trying to kill us, you know what I'm saying?
She looks over it and she says, yes, I had one of these when I was a child. And she turns it upside down and then turns it back over and says, we're friends now. She looks over towards you, hands it back to you. She says, "You sure this thing was haunted?"
I suspected it was not.
It's a safe assumption.
Considering it was looking around at us, I can only imagine. Remember, something does not have to speak to be haunted, because I don't recall the fireplace ever apologizing.
I'll bring the
You'll
doll
grow
with me.
those eyebrows eventually. It'll take a few months, but still.
All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and take our break. And when we come back, you all can do what you will with the rest of this house. Petra does inform you that it will be another 24 hours before she can perform another seance. Welcome back, everyone. After the first seance has concluded, as you're all recuperating from your first couple hours spent in this wonderful, wonderful house, you all can take a long rest and level up to 2.
Hey, let's go.
All
Really?
right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am a firm believer that we should never spend more than one full session at level 1.
Careful decisions to make it level 2. I probably should have considered those decisions beforehand.
I know, I'm sorry. I usually give a notice, like, be ready to level up next session, but I completely forgot. I actually forgot. I almost let you all go up to the second floor at level 1. That would have been quite mean of me to do.
Is there a way to open the character mancer back up?
Is it? Wait 1 second. Let me make sure it's on. It should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's
but...
on.
Okay,
if you
good.
go into like the little scroll wheel, I think it's in your character. Scroll down a little bit. There should be like a character setting where it's like, start your character level 1 and then character plus level. It should be the character plus level.
Correct. So when you're on your character sheet, you go over to where it says core bio and then spells. Next to that is a little gear icon. Click on that. In the bottom right corner of the settings section of your character sheet, in the bottom right corner, there's going to be start level 1 character mancer. Do not hit that. You're going to hit the one that says level plus character mancer.
Gotcha.
All right, and make sure that you hit either. Remember, everybody, if you do have the option to roll for your hit points. However, if you roll and you roll shit, you are stuck. So I recommend taking average, but if you're feeling lucky, feel free to roll.
Feeling lucky.
Remember, if anyone is multi-classing, to make sure that you drop the first one. Is anybody multi-classing? Let me just put it that way.
Not until level 6.
Okay.
Let me just flip a coin real quick. 1 is take average, 2 is roll for it, you wuss.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Sending stones or a bag of holding?
You know, both of those decisions are affected by the fact that you're a party of 6.
Yeah.
Party of 6 is much more likely to split up into groups of 3 when you're exploring places, so sending stones are great. A party of 6 is also much more likely to procure a lot more stuff, which makes the bag of holding. So I hope that makes your decision easier.
I'm just trying to think of spells.
I suppose I can take both too.
Defense, paladin, fighting style.
I'm a monk, I don't have to make any decisions.
AC is now a 19.
Damn.
I can finally use Flurry of Blows. I can finally use Step of the Wind. I have an armor movement.
I'm sorry, was that a question from anyone? Okay, thank you. Anyone getting anything interesting that I should be aware of?
I am replacing one spell that I didn't use for Thunderwave, and
Okay.
I get Song of Rest.
Song rest, great.
Very nice.
Now I change your party level tracker to 2.
Oh yeah, I get Jack of all trades. I forgot that's a level 2, not 3 thing.
Alright, so as you're all doing that, you see Petra get up from the table, and she says, well, it'll be a while before I can do that again, so might as well accompany you all this time. But first, you see her close her eyes and sit, and she begins... Excuse me. She begins to meditate while you're all taking your rest. Would anybody like to roll 2 d20s for Petra?
I'll do that.
Okay.
One in.
So, you see her brow furrow. She says, "Oh, that is not good. That's very unfortunate." Oh. She opens her eyes, comes out of her trance, and she's finished her portent.
I figured that's what it was.
By the
So-
way, oh, sorry.
You all can ask her to do this whenever you'd like her to. Otherwise, she will simply do it when she finds it most necessary. So you all can decide when she wants to do this, or if something comes up that I feel that she would, then I will just let her use it.
Do I get to make my infused items this rest, or do I have to wait till the next one?
You can make him this rest. That's fine.
Okay.
And now, Petra is in everybody's journals. If anyone wants to take a look over what she can do. Obviously, her info and bio is relatively short compared to Ez's, but
How do I make a box for global modifiers?
so you're gonna double click your character. You're gonna double click your. I'm sorry. You're gonna open your character sheet. I know not everyone opens character sheets the same way that I do. On that note, anyone that wants to, just know that you can hold shift and double click on your token, and it will open your character sheet. So, Piranhas, with your character sheet open, what you are going to do is you're going to go back over to that gear icon next to core bio and spells. And then you're going to see a section, I believe it is near the center yep, it's in the center. Oh, 1 second, let me find it. Okay, I'm sorry, it's on the right-hand column. Near the middle of the right-hand column, you're going to see show global fields. Clicking on those will give you boxes wherever you need them.
Thank you.
Yep. And now you'll see below your attacks, you have those modifier fields, and then you just add in what you need to there. You can add more as you need to with the little plus icon there. If you ever add one that you don't mean to and need to delete it, you click the lock icon and then you can delete it from there. So leave a little note on Petra's sheet that she has. portent rolls, a 1 and a 4.
The relief I had when I heard it was just portent, because a 1 and a 4 is still useful for portent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, whenever anyone hovers over Petra, you'll see a portent rolls part pop up. Tells you what they are. And if we use one, we can get rid of that one and bring the other one in.
Is it because they're important?
Oh.
Get one of those.
The gift.
All right. Has everyone completed their level up?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just about.
Oh, but you guys can keep going.
Okay. So, what would you all like to do?
To the roof, yeah? The Widow's Walk.
I am down for this. Yes.
Get those pesky doors out of your way. All right. So, are you all heading up to the second floor for now?
Yes.
Okay. So, a small argument ensues between Petra and Ez. Petra wants to go with you all. Ez insists that she stays as it's not safe. And Petra looks out over all of you and says, "You all can keep me safe, right? No danger when I'm with the 5 of you. So many of you."
It's going to be dangerous. You might die.
She squints, takes a deep breath. She's like, "You're not helping."
I mean, if you can handle yourself, then you can come along. But
It's not
says,
my
"Well,
place to tell you where you can and can't go.
Consider she's been sitting in an extremely haunted house for an extended period of time.
She nods, looks over towards us. "It's settled then." Although Morgan Freeman's voice, "Nothing, in fact, was settled." All right. So, do you all mind if Petra accompanies you?
No?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Just don't touch anything that's obviously haunted.
So don't touch anything.
She nods. Noted. All right, everyone. So I'm going to group everybody up, and I will teleport you up to the second floor. Hold on to your butts for a moment.
holding on to such said butt.
A little Scooby-Doo transition.
Yep. With the sound and everything. And here we go. Oh, Ez is staying behind. So, the stairs at the bottom, just outside of the parlor that you all passed when you came in, spiral upward and then into this area here. And... oh, sorry, I took you to the wrong spot. Over here. So, this area overlooks the parlor landing where you all were just a moment ago. You can see the chandelier below you. Obviously, you can change your marching order up if you want to, but that would be thin air there, Veronis.
Oh,
All right. So, who would be in front?
I definitely would not be.
I'll volunteer.
Hayes can go in second, maybe?
Okay. So Veronis and then Hayes. All right. So, the balcony overlooks the foyer area. Only about 12, 13 feet below. Yeah. Petra's kind of looking around. She says, well, there's got to be another way up somewhere, right?
Are there any
Well-
cupcakes in this hallway?
There are not.
Well, I don't see a ladder yet.
Veronis, there is a stone wall there in stark contrast to the rest of the surrounding architecture. Based on its location, that appears to be an upper wall of the tower.
Using my great big lizard brain, approximately how high did the stairs go up in feet?
You mean the ones that were in the tower?
No, that we just ascended.
Oh, you're looking over the balcony. You'd see about a 12-foot drop.
And if I recall, the floor that we couldn't access was about 40 feet up.
Correct.
Well, no door here.
Is there a ceiling above this area here where Tita is?
Yes, there is.
Oh.
Yeah. So the ceiling above you all now would also be the ceiling to that area. The chandelier hangs from that ceiling.
Would anyone like to pick a door, or shall I do the honors?
I mean, you are the expert after all.
All right. I will, from the side, push this door open.
See a desk, a bookshelf sitting next to it. Pushing the door the rest of the way open, it appears to be a small bedroom. There's no... Veronis, from what you can see, there's no personal effects around. It seems rather bare. Pretty basic. Aurelia, as you look in, though, the room looks very, very different to you. This looks like an exact one-to-one replica of your childhood bedroom.
What in the...
You're the only one that sees this. Everyone else sees a very plain, nondescript bedroom.
Why does this, look like my bedroom from my childhood?
A very boring bedroom if this looks like your bedroom.
I mean, boring as it is, it looks like my bedroom.
Like, I'm not sure what you mean. It's a similar layout, or...
No, this is it. This is exactly it.
Do you describe anything specific that is not visible to the rest of the party?
I would probably have a vial somewhere sitting in the room, but
Maybe like on a stand, music sheets, a music
Yeah.
stand, things like that.
yeah, but that would really be it. Otherwise, it would be almost as plain Jane as you just described it.
Okay. Would there be you have Vistani origins, correct?
Yes.
So that would likely make the room extremely colorful. Of course, your music stand and things like that, tapestries and things like that hanging around. Just lots of things that would, if you were to describe them, would show that you are seeing something very different than what the rest of the group is seeing.
This is very weird. I don't know if I like this house anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
Anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was just a house, and it's like, cool. It's a house, but this is very creepy, in my opinion.
No doubt. I don't know why the illusion would only be affecting you, though.
I don't. I mean, now it's personal. I don't know. I mean, it's just something must be causing this illusion. I don't know what though.
Aurelia, as you turn to face the door and address the rest of the party and tell them what you were just saying, once you turn back, you would see the nondescript, plain bedroom that everyone else is seeing again.
Wait, what? I am just gonna step out of this room. I don't know what's going on. You guys can go look inside if you want.
Just glancing, though, does it look like a normal-sized bed?
It does.
Okay. Strange hallucinations aside. Nothing tried to kill us that time.
Petra looks around. Things have been trying to kill you? She kind of looks a little concerned.
Yes, very actively, in fact.
You see her
Like to
messing
get a
with
look
a
at this.
little pendant around her neck. Static electricity jumping away from it like she's ready, but still very scared.
Like to get a look at this chimney witch. I'll knock on this one.
A
Your
faint
name,
knocking comes
Children?
back from the other side.
What? Did you say the door knocked back at me?
Indeed.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is it?
Who is it?
I don't find it funny.
I don't find it funny.
I'll open the door a crack.
Veronis, as you touch the door, it swings open with an extreme amount of force. Almost like you basically just kicked it open. The room is empty.
Bolivar, you like bad decisions.
I do, and I very much enjoyed that one.
You want to go see who's home?
Yes. My eyes roll to the back of my head, and I'm looking through Títere's echolocation now. Títere's gonna go in.
Okay. So, Títere sees what looks like an average, everyday guest room until he looks at the bed. The bedspread seems to be made of stitched together animal parts, and not stitched together as in a blanket. Like somebody who had no clue what they were doing took a needle and thread and stitched together several animal hides. There is what looks like fresh blood dripping onto the ground on either side of the bed.
Oh boy. I'm gonna let the group know.
Hmm. There shouldn't be this much fresh blood in a crumbling house, I think.
You never know. I mean, it is, I just don't know. This place is just weird.
To be fair, the floorboards were bleeding, so
Let me investigate further. I stopped looking through my familiar's eyes, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna investigate the sheets further. See if they're
Make
are
a
they
perception check, please, Bolivar, before you get into that.
Yeah. I'll give my specialty.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. So, Bolivar, as you enter the room and walk over towards the bed, you glance back towards Titre, and you see a painting behind him. There is what looks like a cat at first in the painting. It begins to move. From the background, crouched down, moving like it's stalking prey towards the foreground. As it gets closer, it's shifting, its bones cracking and shifting and changing in weird, off ways. The closer it gets to the front of the painting, the closer it gets down to that pouncing crouch. You see its fangs elongate, its eyes sink into the back of its skull, taking on an almost undead appearance. It appears to be about to pounce towards Titre.
Over here. Get over here, Tite. I don't know if I'm seeing things or what.
As you say that, Titre flies away from the painting a little bit. The rotted, clawed hand emerges from the painting only a few inches, swipes at the area where Titre was, and then goes back into the painting. The creature slinks back into the background, slowly becoming more and more just like a regular house cat until it sits back in the background and ceases to move.
Varanus, are you fond of the arts?
No. And I'm not fond of this hand that keeps following us either, and I'm gonna shoot the painting.
It sticks in, you hear the thunk of wood.
Which are worth noting, my crossbow is now a magical crossbow.
Nice.
A simple no would have sufficed.
That too.
It's like, I am in fact not, sir. Ticking.
I
Alright, so the bed.
I think that was a special piece of art, very unique illusion magic. Anyways, I'm gonna investigate the bed and see if the leather has been tanned or conditioned, or if it feels fresh.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Other specialty, excellent.
Walking with my front towards the painting.
All right. It certainly does not look like it has been tanned or processed in any official or professional way. It really just looks like somebody grabbed some animals, skinned them, and then stitched the skins together.
Okay, I'm gonna step back out and call for Tita to come with me.
Take my cane and just kind of lift it up. Look underneath.
The mattress is soaked in blood.
Do you want to take a nap, Miss Yorua?
That is like the definition of just like if we were reading a book, that would have just been nervous chuckle.
Just slowly walking out. I'm just gonna pretend that blood was from the animals that they skinned and not a person.
Well, if tasteless decor are counted as clues, would have solved this already.
I mean, why can't it be both, humanoid and animal skin and blood,
terrifying.
I mean, you never know. I mean, I don't have the tools to kind of investigate it, but still.
Let's get the forensic pathology kits out.
Is there actually a lantern at the end of this hallway?
No, there shouldn't be. I did not put that there.
Maybe the witch did.
Maybe.
Roll 20's haunted.
Roll 20's haunted.
Moon's haunted. What? Moon's haunted.
Everything is haunted.
Alright, I'm tired of the sneaking around stuff. I'm gonna kick this door open. SWAT style.
If you see yourself on the other side, don't shoot it.
All right, Veronis. So, looking into this room, there are wicker chairs, a small table set for tea. It's like a morning room, kind of like a sitting tea room. There's pale drapes on the wide windows overlooking the manor grounds. There is a plump tasseled pillow embroidered with the name Muse resting near the fireplace. Veronis, when you get in and can see the northern part of the room, you see something a bit odd. One moment.
Is it Earl Grey?
Huh. No. It is a bag sitting at the end of the room near those tables. It appears to have been spilt onto its side, its contents spilt out. There are what looks to be a series of long scratches and broken fingernails that end at the mouth of that bag.
I found one of those things I keep talking about. Is that bag, like, here?
Right about here.
It looks like whatever the opposite of falling out of a bag is happened here.
Would anybody in the group consider themselves to be superstitious?
Yeah, believer definitely is.
I would say Rhoda is a little superstitious, but not like overly superstitious.
So are Veronis, are you and Yuruka describing what you're seeing to those that are still in the hallway?
I did say, looks like somebody, whatever the opposite of falling out of a bag is.
So hearing that, Aurelia, it triggers a little bit of memory with you. But Bolivar, you immediately get this boogeyman tale that was told to you when you were a child of something called the Bagman.
No.
Hide within extra-dimensional spaces, seemingly able to transport itself between all of these places. It emerged to kidnap people and drag them back into them. The legend says that it can emerge from any such extra-dimensional space that it chooses at any time, making every single bag of holding, pocket dimension of any kind a potential trap for its desires.
Okay. I tell the group about this superstition. Beware of bags. You may find more than you expect inside.
What in the hell are
Ominous
you
at all?
talking about?
The Bagman, damn it. Haven't you
Didn't we
heard the
teach you something
tales?
yesterday, and now you're trying to freak us all out over this boogeyman creature?
the tales are true.
Oh, let me get this straight. The lifelike porcelain doll was okay with you, but this weird bag, that's what's doing it for you, huh?
The porcelain doll doesn't potentially have an interdimensional traveling creature inside of it.
You don't know that.
Bolivar, you would know the legend to go something like this. Here, I'll go ahead and just share it to you. You can tell the group if you'd like to.
You see, to this day, the bagman continues to try to find his way back home. Every single night he emerges from a random bag, mostly the magical kind, in hopes to make his return. If he does not recognize it as its home, he will pull someone near the bag into it, and they're never heard from ever again. In their place, he leaves a small piece of junk from his collection in the extra-dimensional space that it inhabits. Perhaps this was left behind by this creature.
There is a small figurine of a dove laying just outside of the bag.
I could shoot the bag. Would that help?
No, he's gone. If he left that here, this was not his plane, his home, and he's gone on to other bags. It is probably safe now, I assume.
Kind of
Uranus.
sidle up to it.
You hear a faint coughing coming from the door to you, right that you're standing near.
Once again, take my cane and just kind of jab it.
Door doesn't budge.
What?
It appears to be locked for us.
Oh, I meant the bag.
Oh, the bag. Cool. Yeah.
That's cool too.
It's a bag.
Sorry, what happens?
Nothing. You poke it with your cane,
Oh.
and it's a bag. Kind of crumples up and then slumps back into the position after you remove your cane.
So I can get the impression that there's something in the bag.
No, you get the impression the bag is empty.
What if I... Oh, go ahead.
Perhaps it is best left undisturbed.
Oops. You did say that people get sucked into these things, right?
Yes,
What are the odds it happens twice?
very slim from the tails, but tails do change as they're spread.
Other words in here? Very likely.
Well, if I take my cane and scoop it under and just kind of flick it towards the corner.
It flies over to the corner, makes a leathery thud, and then falls to the ground.
In the hill?
Okay, done. You know, kick the door. This one seems to be locked.
The door next to you is locked, or?
Yes.
Well, I
Uranus
don't-
tries the handle, and it is in fact locked.
Well, I don't have any tools to unlock it, but I'm gonna try and actually cast Mage Hand and Actually, yeah, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna tell Uranus, you might want to back up a little bit. Let me try and unlock it myself. And I'm gonna try and use the mage hand to unlock the door.
Okay. Do you have a thieves kit? Lockpicks?
Nope, I do not.
Okay, you do need some sort of tool to be able to pick a lock.
Yeah, my magics don't seem to want to unlock the door in front of me.
Can you post the the card for Mage Hand real quick?
I can post the spell itself.
Let's see. A point you choose within range. I mean, technically speaking, you could just summon the Mage Hand behind the door if there's a deadbolt on the other side.
I think the only problem is, like, mage handed, they specifically have to see where the location is in order to summon it, but
Appears at a point.
No, it's a
it'll
point,
say
right?
a point you can see within range. That is a clause that is very specific. So you could have it appear on the other side of the door.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why Mage Hand is so fucking busted.
that's also true. Let me see if I can then use the mage hand to unlock it from the other side then.
Okay. So then I'm going to say go ahead and make a straight dexterity check. You know what? Make a spell casting check. So for that, it would be charisma to see if you can manipulate the hand to effectively feel out the other side of the door and find any sort of locking mechanism on there. So go ahead and make a straight charisma check.
Just a moment. Sounds like you're going to need a bit of luck, so take this, and I'll hand her a little charm that I carved and cast guidance.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
It's gonna be...
Add guidance.
Alright, and a d4.
Perfect.
That's a 10 total.
So, it wasn't difficult. There is, in fact, a deadbolt on the other side of the door. As you're feeling around, it takes a little bit of time. About 30, 40 seconds of just kind of aimlessly patting around the other side of the door, but eventually it does find the deadbolt, flips it, and you hear a click. Veronis, you did hear that coughing coming from the other side, if you don't remember. Just a point of order.
Oh, right. I assumed it was from the bag, but guess it was from behind the door.
From the other side of the door.
Oh, I thought I heard something, so, be ready. Push it open.
You can see a wall, Veronis. Veronis, once you get to that angle, you see a bit more of the room. There is a grand canopied bed occupying the northern wall of the room. Its headboard's engraved with the phases of the moon. There's a wardrobe, a writing desk, and a torn leather chair filling out the space, all covered in a rampant mildew. As soon as you open the door, Veronis, you are assaulted by by a very chemically smell, like ammonia, some sort of strong medication. Seems to linger in the air, polluting the room.
You may want to hold your breath for this one.
When you say that, Veronis, you're probably close enough, and Aurelia's close enough. Yorha just stops breathing. There's no movement of her chest as she kind of moves into the room.
Show off.
What in the hell?
But, nothing paranormal yet, I suppose.
Looking out the massive windows of this bedroom, The storm appears to have bumped right up onto the outskirts of the house at this point.
Now, is this a window right next to me?
No, that's a painting on the wall.
Oh, wait, I just remembered the other painting. Put my crossbow at it.
This one depicts a man riding across an open field on horseback, carrying a sword, pointing it straight ahead as if he's charging at something. Bears a striking resemblance to the bust of the adult male you saw downstairs.
I believe we may have found the master bedroom. Also, this painting is armed, so keep an eye on it.
I mean, I see an armed man. I don't know what you mean by a armed painting, but
Well,
I know
most
what I
people
said.
do have arms. Most.
you know, I'm not just gonna question it.
Petra says that she recognizes some of the smells in here. A relative of hers had a wasting sickness of the lungs. The smell smells just like that person's room did.
That person?
She nods and says, old family friend.
Was he not familiar with baths?
It's the medication that they gave to him. It leaves this smell in the air. It doesn't ever seem to go away.
Interesting.
Yes, well, I hear you can get a nasty rot from breathing too much of this stuff anyway. I'll open the next door. Makes sense.
What is inside of there is what remains of the opulent fixtures of the master bathroom. It's considerably moldier than anywhere else in here. Moisture seeming to seep out from various areas. There's wardrobes, dressing screens, and a vanity with a cracked mirror. There's a raised marble tub next to a built-in fireplace.
Is anyone for a bath?
I mean, I wouldn't mind a bath, but in a moldy bathroom, I can kind of see from here. Not really.
Veronis, the first time you saw the bathtub, it was completely empty. Turning back to say that to your group, when you turn back, it is filled to the brim with a jet black substance. Bubbles lightly.
Never mind, you don't want to use this bath.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't feel like in a moldy room like this. Yeah, no.
Although it is curious. Is that like a rock or a piece of debris on the ground?
Yeah, there would be pieces of the broken glass, pieces of the tile floor, aged and cracked enough that you could lift them up.
Get a nice hunk of tile and see if I can throw it, basketball style into the tub.
Okay. a dexterity check.
I can't believe the entire bathtub was filled with delayed fucking detonation fireballs. Make a
You
dex
need it.
saver. Make a dex saver. Take
Ooh.
500 d6 damage.
Veronis, it only goes about like 10 feet in front of you and it cracks onto the ground in front of the bathtub. It's got a high arc though.
Could I try again?
Sure. This time, Veronis, you are able to get it in there. It doesn't sound like water. It's too thick, too viscous. It makes more of like a grunk sound. It doesn't necessarily splash as much as the water displaces and sends some of that black sludge spilling over the sides, splatting onto the ground beneath.
Well, I'm not touching that. Polaroid, do you want to give it a shot? Hayes, maybe? You're,
I'm good.
Thanks.
Same.
I have a morbid curiosity to try and drink whatever's in that tub.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
I mean, on
So-
one hand, it could kill me. On the other hand, it could give me ultimate power. I'm not sure which.
Are you really planning on going bald?
I think going bald is the least of my worries, but if it means absolute power, then sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It's the kind of optimism I've come to expect from a man like you, Hayes.
You really shouldn't.
All right, well, there's no windows or doors in the bathroom, so guess we'll try the creepy hallway next.
Which one?
Although there was the
There's a-
breathing that I heard.
The coughing would have stopped once you entered the room.
Oh, is there a door there?
There is, right in front of Yuruha.
Right. Carry on. Let's open the door.
We have a designated door opener. I like it. Okay.
Seems that way.
Leads back to the main hallway.
Designated booby trap tester.
True. As long as it's not me.
Ghosts don't set booby traps on purpose.
Except when they do.
Yeah, right.
It's more doors. I'll open this one. These stairs go up.
They do.
Well, guess that's where we'll be going next. I'll push this one up.
You said you'll push it open?
Yep.
Appears to be another guest bedroom. Veronis. Make a perception check. Okay, never mind.
Pretty good.
Never mind.
I don't hear anything. I open the door because I don't hear anything.
see an office. It is decorated with sturdy shelves, a desk carved with reclining satyrs. Desk's high back chair is turned away from you all. Its back facing to you.
Does that seem not normally the orientation an enormous desk chair would be in? Are these paintings on the wall behind me?
They are.
And then there's the fireplace. I'm surrounded. Okay, what are the paintings of?
So the one directly in front of you shows the picture of an armored knight standing with his sword bared in front of him. Looking farther down, the one on the one to the south bears a similar image. The one in the center seems to bear the image of a royal woman, possibly a queen, a princess.
She armed too?
Not that you can see.
2 out of 3 isn't good odds. Kind of do a quick peek up the fireplace flue. Crossbow ready.
Uranus, as you peek your head up, there is a set of eyes staring back at you.
Son of a bitch, I shoot at the eyes.
Make an attack roll.
Oh dear.
Nice.
Yes!
You hear a shriek, and then what sounds like rustling, something air and something else moving quickly through the flue system. Hayes, Yaruha, you also hear it stumbling around, seemingly above you. The shrieking sound slowly fading away as it goes deeper into the flue system.
What in the hell?
That'll show her.
What were you shooting at?
Well, I hope it was the chimney witch.
Why are you just opening fire on, whatever you, see randomly? Like, there is no need to just, jump to attack.
Tell me, what conceivable ally would be hiding in the chimney?
Maybe
I don't
Esmeralda?
know. True. I don't know. There could be, like, kids that grew up around, chimney sweepers or whatever you people call them, and,
In this
maybe
house?
they have an affinity to hide in chimneys.
In this house?
In all fairness, I did not get a chance to fully describe the figure that Verona saw. It was a withered face, long, black, scraggly hair, seemingly matted to the face. The eyes were wide and lidless.
Yeah, I mean, it was a horrible thing. It probably looks even better now that there's a crossbow in its face.
You were, kind of messed up, I'm not gonna lie.
Agreed. However, Aurelia, there's still the matter of the large chair that's not facing us.
True. I don't really know why this chair is positioned like this.
It's back to everybody, as if
So
somebody was sitting in
dramatically-
it, and then like somebody sitting in a desk chair, evil villain style, with the back to you.
It's so a doll can dramatically turn around and face us.
I tell you what, you go from the south side of the room, I'll take the north side of the room. We'll flank it.
Oh, okay, let me, I'm gonna take out my rapier and... Okay, let's go.
Get that with my crossbow.
The chair is empty.
can't be too careful in this place.
Yeah.
If you sit in it, you might get possessed by the ghost of a Waterdeep banker.
It's a nice chair.
It is a very nice chair, yes. I don't know what Waterdeep is, but
The City of Splendors.
I've never heard of a Waterdeep.
Picture an open trench, and then imagine that 1,000 people live there.
We must not be far from Waterdeep. How have you never heard of it?
I don't know. Like, I don't. I've heard of many places, but I've never heard of a Waterdeep.
Never been to Toril, apparently.
Never have.
Brannus, aren't you going to sit in the chair?
I wasn't planning on it, but that seems right up your alley, Polymer.
I'm not quite tired yet. My skeletal leg props me up and keeps me from getting tired.
Shall I be the guinea pig?
Shall we leave it alone?
I think we do. Maybe
Where's-
one day I'll talk to you guys about where I'm from, but this Waterdeep is interesting.
Where are you from, Aurelia?
I am from a place called Mordant. I grew up near the Sigil Lakes. I doubt
Mordant, is that in Karatur?
no. It's its own domain. It's a lovely place, very foresty. But I am not from I've just never. I don't know. I just grew up in a camp with people similar to me, so.
Are you saying Petra is correct in that you were transported to a different dimension?
I guess in a sense I am.
I believe she noted that we all were.
I don't know if I believe that we all just randomly were picked out of different realms.
I mean,
You seem to have heard of Waterdeep, Brannus.
Yes, well, it's a long story, but yes.
Were you traveling in the Misty Forest before you found this house?
I was traveling through a misty forest, yes.
The Misty Forest. Then yes, then we must be still in the Misty Forest. Who else was brought here from somewhere else? Yurua, where are you from?
Faerun, small village there that had the temple. I was actually looking for someone who might be like me.
The Temple of Selûne. Perhaps in
Yes.
Baldur's Gate?
No. The temple was much smaller. We were a small village.
It seems, Aurelia, you were the only one. You are in Faerun now.
what is Fairloon? I've never even heard of it.
Hayes, where are you from?
Yeah, Sword Coast.
Then it is settled. Petra, you are incorrect.
Petra's got a bunch of papers in her hand, going over them, looking at them. Wait, sorry, what?
We are in the Misty Forest. In Faerun.
Unlikely.
You said we were in a place called Ravenloft, yes?
It's kind of a place, kind of, as is much better at explaining that kind of stuff. But basically, this is its own place, separate from other places. That makes sense?
A plane of existence, a sphere, one of the heavenly spheres,
Uh,
but not a heavenly sphere.
kind of. She calls them domains. She says her mentor told her all about them. They're these pockets of existence that are separate from the other planes. They kind of almost float around inside of the mist. You can only get to them through the mist if somebody brings you there, or if you intentionally go through the mist to try to find it.
Like the Bagman.
Kind of, yeah.
But it sounds like you and Esmeralda came here intentionally.
Right, we came looking for the house. When we found it, it was... She describes a place along the Sword Coast. Far to the north, maybe 8-9 miles south of Luskin.
It can't be.
But I'm sure you all know that there's no forests near Luskin, and she looks out the window and sees a massive forest surrounding the house and storm clouds that are almost coming up onto the walls.
Did you all get a feeling you were being watched before you entered the house?
I mean, a little bit, but that's not uncommon where I'm from, to be honest.
Well, there was the dream, and then there was the matter of the note that shouldn't have been able to come into my room, but it did. But by the way, Petra, does that mean to imply that you and Esmeralda simply traveled to a demiplane because you intended to, or?
Well, it doesn't really work like that. This particular place can wind up wherever it wants to. And she looks over towards Raylia. She's like, You're of the Vistani. I'm sure you've seen or at least come across the Wandering Circus at one point or another. It's kind of like that.
I have heard stories of the carnival a few times. I haven't encountered it myself, but
It's kind of like that place. It can travel through the mists, arrive where it wants to. The place, from what we've heard of it, has a bit of a mind of its own. We just happened to get lucky and find out, heard rumors of a strange house that had appeared seemingly overnight, and checked it out, and well, by the time we found it, went inside, took a quick look around, and the next time we came out, it was in the middle of this strange forest. We weren't too shocked by that, but heard it might be possible.
And you think this forest is in this Ravenloft?
I believe the forest surrounding the house is part of the demiplane, yeah.
And do
You look tired, Petra. Take a seat.
She looks towards you.
No.
No, I don't think I will. She says, but here, there's things in the desk. And she starts going through drawers and things like that. She has some papers that she's been rifling through. This one looks like a will. It's like a deed to the house. I don't know who would want to actually own this place, but it's here. Old business records.
Oh, actually, the will. What are the names on the will?
Oh, right. It appears to be Lauren Halvrest giving names the other members of the Halvrest family, his wife Theodora and their daughter Regan, and their son Vastian. Looks like he died of tenacious deviltry of the leftmost lung.
Tenacious D for short.
yes, I have heard maybe that they had a song. I believe one of them was called Kickapoo.
Yes.
Strange. I've never heard of such a disease.
Oh, yes. very popular.
What? At any rate, so the lord of the house, he died first, then.
Petra would nod and say that it appears so. She finally pulls
Say
out a
what he
little
died
iron
of?
key. Holds it out to all of you. Have you still seen anything that was locked?
Comment real quick.
Huh?
I'm getting a weird glitch with the map.
What's going on?
I linked it in Discord.
Oh yeah. Literally, so there's a lantern on like the first floor.
Does
that
it
we
have vision? Nice.
Yeah.
I have vision of the lantern. I have vision of Esmeralda all the way over there. That is weird.
Okay, well, Esmeralda is just because you all technically have control over her token, so you just get vision on her. This lantern, though, shouldn't have vision.
Yeah,
That looks like
supposedly-
Esmeralda's vision
Oh.
that's going through the wall.
Oh, that is
yeah,
exactly
it's-
what's happening.
It's right
Yep.
here.
Esmeralda
Okay.
can see it. Yep. There's a lantern over there, and Esmeralda has vision on it.
I'm sorry, I thought there was
Okay.
like a map breaking bug going on.
Yes, who would have thought that a lantern would break the entire map, man?
It's roll 20. It
Yeah, I was
happens.
about to say, like, I would think that.
That's
That is
also
something I would
true.
think.
See, the real power move would have been to leave that there intentionally and just have like a creature go by every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, just like a bad man just go by like every 5 minutes.
That would be terrifying.
Put a lich token.
Hey guys, here's Vecna.
What are you doing in my house?
Shall we go upstairs?
Yes, yes, we shall.
The key is probably to the master bedroom that we opened.
Okay. So, as you all make your way out into the other hallway and begin making your way up the stairs to the 3rd floor, that is where we're going to go ahead and call it a session for today.
On my way out, can I peek up the flue one more time?
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for the deck save request.
Get your token up there. Make a deck save. As one of those many elbowed arms lunges out towards
Oh, God.
Varanus.
Oh no.
Session inspiration.
Good call. We're ending right now. Yeah, it slashes the air right by Varanus. Yoruha, you see it slide. You see it completely just slash through the air right next to him, and then a shrieking sound as she misses, and the arm instantly retracts back up into the chimney. You hear a shrieking, angered shrieking, echoing through every fireplace in the house.
Next week, sweetheart.
And that's what we'll go ahead and call it a session.